Welcome everyone to this episode of Down the Middle. Apologize for being a little bit late, but Hakeem here had the sniffles, so he had to sit out for a couple days.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
No, it's all good because I had screwed up myself. I had really messed up my schedule because we are recording an audio drama as part of the whole Arte podcast Pantheon thing, and we had to shift it around a bit. And I didn't even think I was like, yeah, Thursday works. And then
Uh-huh.
like the next day I went, ah, shit. But we'll be finished recording the first one. Actually, I think next week is the last episode for the first part. But anyway, more on that to come. This podcast is brought to you by one of our newer podcasts, The Complete Guide to Happiness with Dr. Fantastic and our friends at Again and Forever. But we will touch on them a bit later. But today it's exciting because guess what we get to do? We get to be wrestling fans. We get to bitch about something that they put in a wrestling magazine. Oh wow, I just noticed your background. I feel stupid. Which we also need to redesign that too, because I think it's pretty safe to say you're sticking around. You're not tired of this gig.
Oh no, oh no. No.
Yeah, so we'll get around to that too. But anyway, so I assume you have the list, correct?
Yes, I do.
All right. I want to preface, you have told me who number one is. Other than that, I don't know what's on this list. So what do you want to do? Do you want to start?
Well, we can start with the first one because,
Yeah,
like,
let's just start with number one, and then we can keep going as time permits because I know we both have time commitments today. So that sounds like a good idea. And then next episode, we already talked. We're gonna do the men's top 500, and we'll have a little bit more time for that because it's a bigger list. But anyway,
uh-huh.
proceed.
Yeah, first one on the list is Tony Storm from AEW. I
Going as
know,
time
like, a lot of people like Rhea Ripley for to be like the number one, but I really consider Tony to be better in a way. Just because she took like the division of the women's division in AEW, and it was like the highlight of the show for me.
Here's my only problem with that, though. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't disagree with Tony Storm being high on the list, but number one, I mean, there's a clear number one, and that's Rhea Ripley.
I see that, but as bad as AEW is, like she was the highlight of the entire show for me.
I get
Even like
that.
even the pay per views.
I get that, but Rhea, for most of the past 2 years, has been one of the bigger highlights of the bigger company. And that's the point that I make, all right? Is it's like, and I don't know, I know it's voting, right? Which is why I don't really like, it's funny, we were talking about the Artie Awards, and I'm trying to make them as
Yeah,
fair as possible because I don't like fan voting because I don't think it's actually very accurate. Because
yes.
if you actually break this down into metrics, who's generated more money, who has sold more merchandise, who has, been the bigger needle mover
Yeah.
in the industry, and I would argue that by far it's Rhea Ripley.
Oh, I honestly would agree with that. It's just the storyline of Rhea and Dom. I've seen before so much, so that I just want something a little new. That's the only reason why. I know
Well,
what's going to come. I know what's going to happen.
yeah,
You
and you know
know.
what? Honestly, that's a pretty good point that I had not considered because I will give credit for this. I've said it many, many times on the show. I don't get the fanfare with Tony Storm, but clearly it's the
Uh-huh.
thing. And I will say this much. It's something I haven't seen before. I personally think it's gotten kind of stupid,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but it certainly was unique. I'll give it that. So
Uh-huh.
I'll be honest, I would even consider Tony Storm at number two, but I don't agree with number one.
Yeah, yeah. I honestly I see both sides of it. I really do. Like the only reason why I would say I like Tony Storm as number one because how much was against her, how much is new territory where it's something I haven't seen before versus something that I know that works because I've seen with China and Eddie. So I know it works. It's good. It's really good. It's just that I just want something a little bit new and original.
Hey, and fair enough.
You know, except
Like I said,
Tony's
like
not original. She just Moreau, so it's not original, but still, you know.
I mean, fair enough. I guess I will. Me personally, I would still put Rhea Ripley in the number one
Oh
spot.
yeah. Hmm.
I would put Tony in number two, and
Hmm.
that's not a bad thing. Number two on the top 250 is like a
Yeah.
great spot. Realistically, to be in
Yeah.
the top 20 means you're at the very top of the industry, you know.
Absolutely.
But that being said, who we got at number two? Who's the first loser?
It's, it's Jordan Grace, in which I disagree. Jordan Grace as number two. I would say put Tony at number two and Rhea at number one. I'm fine with that, even, but Jordan Grace as number two over Rhea? No, absolutely not. Not over Rhea Ripley.
See, last year I would have put Jordan at three or four
Okay.
because she really did move the needle. And not, and this is so funny. Here's another thing. I'm on record multiple times saying I don't like Jordan Grace as a person. However, as a wrestler, I can't help but like what she's doing.
Yeah.
I can't help it. I just, when she's on TV, I want to watch. I want to see what she's going to do. That being said, she's still in TNA. Um, it's just a smaller audience, and she's largely been doing the same thing she's been doing since last year. So
Yeah.
I'd put her at four, five, six on my list. Again,
Yeah. Yeah.
still up there. She's still moving the needle, but
Yeah.
just compared to like a Rhea Ripley or even a Liv Morgan recently, um,
Hmm.
I just and there's other people in NXT. I mean, I would even put Lyra Valkyria on
Oh,
similar.
oh yes, absolutely. I would
Yeah,
put her way higher than Jordan. Not way higher, but I
I'd put
still
him.
like
I'd put him at somewhat equal standing because while Valkyria hasn't really moved the needle per se, I mean, just the match quality's been there. She's
that's
good.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But Jordan Grace is number two. So again, that's two that should be below Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Now, okay,
Yeah.
now one thing to consider, and I forgot about this. Rhea was injured for a fairly significant amount of time.
Yeah, she was, yeah.
So fair enough. Fair enough. Um, like I said, I only partially disagree because it's like I believe they should be up there, but not at number one or number two.
Yeah.
And that makes me look like an asshole because it makes me sound like, oh, I don't like Jordan Grace. It's like, well, no, but it's like putting Giant Gonzalez and Hulk Hogan at number one and number two, respectively. It's just that's an even worse example. Anyway,
And
continue. Who is number three?
oh, Rhea. She's number
Yeah,
three.
you know what? All things considered, with Rhea being injured, I will change my answer. I would still put her at number one, but I would accept number two. Like if I was in a voting committee, that's not a hill I would die on.
Same here. Like one or two, I'm fine with that. But
And
number three,
say what you will, Tony Storm's been going strong with this gimmick since last year. So,
uh-huh.
oh, okay, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. By the way, not to get off topic, but I did finally start watching the Vince McMahon documentary.
Oh, you did? Oh,
I like it. I like well produced documentaries, and this one is
same here.
it's really good. Um,
Yeah.
a lot of it's bullshit, but it's really good.
Mhm. Yeah, obviously it's a good way to introduce people who are not wrestling fans who don't know the history into what happened. But if you're a fan of it, you already know like whatever happened.
Well,
It wasn't really new information.
but you can also point out like Vince gets a lot of credit for WrestleMania, and don't get me wrong, WrestleMania was great, but it's not like a big
Hmm.
show like that had never been done before. Like, come on, Starcade, Clash of the
Uh-huh.
Champions, like you know, it was. it was a big deal, but WWE documentaries and WWE friendly documentaries kind of overinflate
Yeah.
its impact.
Hmm.
And like the first WrestleMania was a commercial success to be sure, but I would say it didn't really get huge event status like we view it today until WrestleMania 3.
Yeah,
And
I
and
would
and
totally
and
agree.
WrestleMania 2 almost ruined the like it could have
Yeah,
gone very wrong. It didn't, but it could have. So what are we at? Number 4?
yeah. Makia, Makia, at Stardom. I have no idea who she is. I never seen her match before.
See, I go back and forth on this because on the one hand, I do kind of like that, PWI and Wrestling Observer, they also cover these smaller international promotions so that it helps them
Hmm.
get noticed, it helps them get known. But at the same time, to put one in the top five when they're not even on television, that seems a touch silly to me.
It does. Yeah, I'm in the same mind. Like, it gets people talking. Say, "Oh, why? Oh, wow, she's number four, so she must be good. So let me maybe watch her match or two."
I'm
And
sure that's why
that's
they
how they
do
get
it.
the fan. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why they do it, but watching Stardom is a pain in the ass. At least it used to be. I don't know if
Yeah,
it still is. So, I mean, for an American magazine to put her at number five, or are we on four? We're on
yeah,
four.
four. Yeah, that's a little odd. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to scratch my head at the PWI list when, in the high numbers, I'd be like number six. I've never heard of this person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've
It's
never heard
like,
this name
and
before. I guess it's good that they let you know where they are and where you can see them, but at the same time, it's kind of like I feel like this spot goes elsewhere. But anyway, number five.
five is Stephanie Vaquer, which I've seen her and I know of her work, but she moves a lot.
She just came kind of on the big
Like,
stage. Like don't
yeah,
get me
yeah,
wrong, I like what I saw.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Same here.
I feel like maybe she'll be closer. She will be closer to. I don't want to say deservedly, but for lack of a better word, I would probably feel more comfortable with that position next year because I mean she just kind of. That being said, though, there's obviously something there, even if I hadn't seen her, because WWE swiped her up real quick.
Yeah, she was in AEW too for a little
Yeah,
bit, like
yeah,
one
she
or
had
two
the
matches.
she had the. I think she had two matches.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I just again, you've got your which I guess you could also make the case that, people like your Liv Morgans, people like your Becky Lynch's, your Baileys have been there for so long
Hmm.
that I don't know. I say that and Becky didn't do a ton this year, but Bailey certainly did.
She did.
And Io Sky, I
She,
feel like Io Sky deserves to be in the top five.
I did too, but she's not.
Let's
She's way
see,
down there. Not way down there, but
but not where
close.
because oh my gosh,
Not where she deserved to be.
Io Sky gave us some great matches in 2023, 2024.
And look at the list; it's unbelievable because they put Roxanne Perez over Io Sky, which mind blowing.
I'm I, I'm given to understand though, because again, I don't watch NXT as much as I should, but I'm given to understand that she's doing some pretty good stuff down there. So
Oh no, no, sorry, sorry. No, I know who Roxanne Perez. I was getting her mixed up with the other girl. It's another Perez, or she's really tall. I forgot her name. She just came back. I forgot, but I get her mixed up with some other
is
girl.
it Raquel Rodriguez?
Raquel. Yes, yes. I was thinking that her.
See, now
Like,
I like Raquel, but yeah, she was gone for a bit because
yeah, that was it. No way. Yeah, but no, Roxanne. Yeah, I understand that.
I actually really liked her and Liv as tag champs for some reason. I just felt like that worked.
It did for a little bit. It was fun.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, before we get to number six, gonna tell you a little bit about
Uh-huh.
one of our newer podcasts on the network is Are You Miserable? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, it's a It's a gentleman named Dr. Fantastic who's on a crusade to save the human race from its own insanity. He calls it the insanity of humanity. I think I got that right. But that's basically his show debuts on Monday mornings, and it's just a nice way to start your Monday. It's a nice positive thing. He interviews
Uh-huh.
pretty interesting people. Second episode in particular, he emails a psychologist from Kenya. Yeah, and that was pretty illuminating conversation. But you can check that out,
That's cool.
rtmedia.org, YouTube, everywhere you get Spotify, everywhere you get your podcasts from us, you know where you are, and check that out. And all the other podcasts on the network. But so we're at number six.
Yeah.
Who's number six?
Sorry from Stardom. I still know who she is. Sorry.
Okay, here,
Who's three E's? Sareee.
Suri.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Stardom. To me, I've seen some Stardom matches, and there's two things I'm going to say. So don't hate me till I'm done. A lot of what I've seen is really, really good,
Yeah.
but also a lot of what I've seen is not very good. I think this company gets a lot
This is
of
true.
undue praise because when it's good, it's great.
Hmm.
It's phenomenal. But when it's bad, is real bad. Like it's really
Hmm.
bad. And there's really no in between. Um, and again, I think they're on TV in Japan, but as far as international viewers go, I know they had a streaming service, but it was a pain in the ass. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, though. I think they've partnered with New Japan now, though, so
I
they're part of their streaming service.
yeah.
Okay, so that criticism kind of aside, because it's easier to watch them now. Um, I canceled my New Japan subscription because I didn't have time to watch it. So I might
Hmm.
have to give it another shot.
I've watched it like a couple of times. I watched their YouTube more than anything, to be honest, because like I still can't get into it. Still know like storylines.
That's the thing.
It's
It's
just not
really
so much for me.
yeah, it's really hard to jump into a new wrestling promotion though because again, you don't know who any of
Yeah.
these people are. That's why
Yeah. Hmm.
you usually start with one. Like for me, my introduction getting into pro wrestling was RVD. And through RVD,
Okay.
I saw because I only wanted to watch RVD matches, but then I would inevitably see like RVD in a tag match with Tommy Dreamer and two other people and be like, "Oh, I like
Uh-huh.
this Tommy Dreamer guy," and I like the way Elijah Burke and Matt Striker and them work, and then CM Punk comes around, and you just grow it from there. So that's why top
Hmm.
guys are important, people. That's why people like John Cena are important because people start watching because of John Cena or a Batista or Shawn Michaels, whatever, Hulk Hogan, whatever era you're in. And then through that person, they start to grow their interests until you have
Yeah.
somebody that becomes a wrestling fan. And that's how it's supposed to be. The problem with Ring of Honor back when it was on like HD net television is it was really hard to get into a single wrestler because everybody kind of looked the same,
Yeah. 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 The
you
only one
know?
that like stood out for me was Leo Rush. Like I saw
Yeah,
his
yeah.
match, the way his style was different than anyone else. That's because it's Leo Rush.
And still is though. So, kudos to that. But so that was number six. So who we got at number seven?
Number seven is oh Bailey.
Okay, I'll take that. Not necessarily that she should be higher, but she should definitely be above Suri.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
Like
I mean, it's
Bailey, I would
Bailey.
arguably say is like a household name in a way.
She is,
No,
and
certainly.
the only reason her WrestleMania match wasn't a bigger deal is because I mean it was obvious she was going to win,
Mhm.
and it was fine. It was fantastic. I was totally cool with it. Hell, I think I'd even put Dakota Kai in front of Suri.
Oh, yeah, I actually like Dakota, yeah, a lot.
She's grown on me because she was kind of like a nothing burger for years, and then all of a sudden in Damage Control, I was like, oh, there she is.
Same here. Yeah, felt exactly the same. I've seen like glimpses of her being really good, but then when she went to Damage Control and like became a heel, I
No,
see
she
more of
did.
her talent.
She did a bit in NXT years ago where she was a babyface and I forget who she was working with, but she was basically being bullied. And I kind of dug that storyline because I mean Dakota's a bit smaller and this I oh she was being bullied by Shayna, I believe.
Oh yeah, she was. Yeah, she broke her arm like so many times.
Yeah, but you know
Yeah,
what? I dug the storyline because it's a
it
universal
was good.
tale.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
was good.
yeah.
And then when she finally just like went batshit on her, I was like, yeah, this is what pro wrestling is about.
Uh-huh.
So Bailey, what are we on? 7?
Yeah, and number 8 is Will Nightingale, which
I
I
agree with the
disagree.
I I kind of
I
agree.
disagree.
I agree in terms of popularity, but Willow's another one of those people I don't get it. Um, but again, I know I'm wrong because they're clear. I said the same thing about Rhea and Dom. I'm like, I don't like it. I don't get it. It's weird to me, but I
Uh-huh.
am clearly in the minority here because the audience clearly loves it, and the audience clearly loves Willow. And if I were running a wrestling promotion, I would push Willow because the people clearly want her. So,
Uh-huh.
I don't get it. I don't trust people that are that damn happy all the time.
That's true, but for me, it's like they pushing her, but they push her for like the pre-show, like so, like
Oh,
it's
because
like a push but not a push.
the thing is though, when she first came in, that's where she should have been, and that's nothing against her.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's where new wrestlers should be because we've seen
Hmm.
it when you push them too fast. This weird thing happens where
Yeah.
when you push them to the top, they have nowhere to go, and then they flounder. I think there's this sort of idea, and I don't know where it really started. I really think it started in Ring of Honor, which is ironic because Ring of Honor did not do this. But there became this thing where it's like the minute you like a
Hmm.
wrestler, be like, oh, they should be world champion. It's like, no, I kind of would like to see him, go for tag titles or one of the lesser championships first, like kind of make a name for
Yeah,
themselves.
definitely.
Because if they
Hmm.
win the world championship, right out of the
Where else you
gate,
gonna go?
exactly, where else can you go? Then it gets stale.
Yeah, it's like there's no struggle or there's no mountain to climb. You're already there.
Well, and it devalues your own title because it's like, okay,
Yeah.
this dude or girl came in and won your most prestigious title, your world championship, within the first
Hmm.
month or so of being there. What does that say about all of your other wrestlers?
Yeah, that's true.
But this is
And
something
lose
that
that easily,
this is
it,
now here's the exception to this rule. And actually it's not the exception because it was for a mid-card title, not the world title was Jade.
oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jade is that rare exception, which, like a Bill Goldberg, like a Hulk Hogan, honestly, these are people that because of their stature or what they bring to the table. Well, no, hear me out. And this is how Lance
Uh-huh.
Archer should have been treated, just because of his sheer size. Is
Oh, yeah.
this person gets into matches, and if they lose, except in very, very rare circumstances, like I could see Jade losing to Chris, which she did, Chris Statlander.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like Jade losing to Riho, I would have shut my TV off and thrown it out the window. Like, and she never did. I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But so Jade's kind of the exception. Now, that being said, I also said this. I think Jade was put on TV a little too fast, but I understand why they wanted to fast track her because, I mean,
The way she looks, yeah.
look at this woman.
She's a physical threat.
Well, and not only that, and Jade has said this before, she's already in her 30s. She's on a bit of a ticking clock, athletically speaking. So I get
Mhm.
it, and WWE seems to be taking that approach with her. But I digress. By the way, well, we'll see because if we get to 20 and I haven't heard some names yet, I'll ask you where they are. But anyway, so we're on
Uh-huh.
number 9.
Yeah, number 9. Oh, Mariah May.
You know what? Considering what they've done with her this year, I don't disagree with that. In or around
Same
that
here.
area.
Same here, and that's the reason I like Tony because she brought her up as a name that now I know. Before I know who Mariah May was,
And
but now
fair,
I do. And I like her work. I do.
fair enough. Yeah, yeah. I've liked what I've seen from her, so
Hmm.
I don't disagree with that. Yeah, usually in the lower numbers, I stop disagreeing so much. It's like, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. All right. Number 10 is Athena from ROH.
See, what's really funny is I have a sneaking suspicion that's appropriate, but I have no idea because I haven't been able. I can't. Where do I watch Ring of Honor?
I have no idea. It's honestly it's sad because she is so good, like phenomenal. She took that ROH championship and like made it more than it ever would have been.
And
But
nobody knows
uh,
about it.
yeah, it's like 20 people. Like
Yeah, 20
that's it.
whole people are like, yeah, Athena's the
Yeah,
best. And we're the
yeah,
rest of us are like, wait, she's still there?
exactly. People thought she left AEW and that was it. A lot of people didn't even know she was on ROH.
See, I'm not gonna lie. I've always liked Athena, even back when she was Ember Moon.
Yeah.
Probably more when
Oh,
she was
same
Ember
here.
Moon because she was on television.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those things. To like someone, to be a fan, you kind of have to see them every once in a while.
Hey, to be fair, in WWE, I didn't like her personality. It was kind of plain and boring when she talked. But when she got to AEW and start being more, not hill, but more aggressive to show what she
You,
actually can do,
well, and the thing is,
I
Ember
like that a little
Moon.
bit more.
I always got the sense that Ember Moon was just somebody who really liked the Twilight movies, New Moon in particular, and we're like,
Oh,
you're gonna
yeah.
be Jacob, but a girl.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember she came out with the moon and the contacts, and
I dug it.
I did the look absolutely.
Yeah, I dug it,
Even
and
the
I liked her.
moves, that
I liked her
stunner.
style. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Now she did kind of like remind me. She did sort of like a round off the top rope stunner.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, that thing looked.
fantastic. I
That thing
love
looks
that move.
so painful.
It does.
It really did. I like those moves where obviously they're doing it safely, but you see it and you go, oh.
Yeah. It looked like a legitimate move that could hurt someone.
I
It
don't
looked like a
see I don't
RKO.
I don't see how you can do that safely. Like there's so many things. There's so many things that can go wrong.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think of one that I saw, which I think it was Naomi. Yeah, it was Naomi. And oh gosh, who was she wrestling? It was how Naomi took the move. But somebody basically they were standing and she grabbed her by the head. She grabbed Naomi by the head and then took her down and did kind of like a I don't know what you call that, like a splits bulldog. and Naomi's
Oh,
flex
okay.
and Naomi's flexible enough to where she can get her head to the canvas in a split.
Yeah, I know
But
exactly what you mean. Yeah,
that looked gnarly, man. That looked
yeah.
so sick. Yeah, but so to address our other sponsor, our good friends at Again and Forever, they got a new album coming out hopefully soon. There's not an official date yet, but it's gonna be sick. I've heard most of the well, not all the songs are mixed yet, but
Hmm.
since I'm part of the company, I get to hear it before everybody else, and it's good shit. But some of their singles are already out, like
So,
their reimagining of All the Things She Said, and the reimagined version of Imagine from John Lennon, which I hate the
oh,
original
cool.
song, but the new one's actually quite good.
Yeah,
And
I'll listen to it.
I can't divulge the other one, but there is a song from a band that I absolutely hate. I don't like any of their songs they've ever done. I don't understand how they're famous. I don't understand how they have a career because their music sounds like an epileptic cat on a chalkboard with nails for hands. Um, and it was funny because he sent me the mix without vocals, and he was like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "I hate this song, but this is the best it will ever sound. Like, it's just a bad song, but this is the best it could ever possibly sound." So
Uh-huh.
check out for that. But check out the link in the description to check out their music that is already released. Highly recommend All the Things She Said and Kamikaze, my two personal favorites. But there's a lot of good ones, so check them out. You'll like it. It's good stuff. WWE should take some of their music for entrance themes because it would work. It would work really well.
Yeah.
Actually, AEW should because
I was gonna say AEW needs it more.
they're better with music. I will say this much: AEW is better with music, generally speaking.
Uh-huh.
See, I complimented AEW. It can be done. Number 11.
Number 11 is Roxanne Perez, which I agree. She's she's been on a roll.
Yeah, no notes.
Now for like number 12, Liv
Ooh,
Morgan.
I
Yeah.
feel like she should be higher, but at the same
Higher, yeah,
time,
yeah, yeah.
I will concede that the only reason she's really relevant right now is because she's attached to Dominic
Because of Rhea.
Mysterio and Rhea. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. On her own, not so much, but when
Now
she's together with
I'm
the
now
whole
I'm
story.
I'm biased because on her own, uh,
Oh, really?
no, I mean, God, Liv Morgan is Liv Morgan is one of the most beautiful women walking around planet Earth today, and she's just damn. To quote Will Smith, damn. And when she did that bit where she was showing us what Dom liked, I'm like, Dom ain't the only one. I'm like, how can they do this on television? I mean,
Yeah, I know a lot
keep
of people.
keep
Yeah.
doing it, but how are they doing this on television? Clearly not PG. So I'm wondering though, this moved to Netflix.
Oh, will it be more racy, more
It's
attitude
it's
era
it's
is?
it's gotta be, dude, because if you're on Netflix, you pay for that. So you're no longer
Uh-huh.
subject to the FCC. Now, I don't think they're gonna like start I don't think they're gonna start doing strip shows and like,
Yeah,
showing cocaine
or
on
like
air, but
panty
I think
enhancers.
well, I don't yeah, maybe not in the same capacity, but I'm just saying I think we will finally I think we'll get Seth fucking Rollins, for example.
Oh yeah, yeah. I would think more aggressiveness,
The
more blood,
promos the
maybe.
promos will be better because it will stop sounding like a TNT edit of Gone in 60 Seconds or of Superbad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It'll stop,
Mhm.
it's like watching Bad Boys on the USA Network. It's like, let's get these mother lovers.
Yeah.
There's a certain I remember once I was channel surfing back when I still had cable. I was channel surfing and I saw Superbad was on Comedy Central or yeah, Comedy Central, but it was on at like 5 p.m. So I'm like,
Uh-huh.
the comedy value on this is going to be great because at this time slot, they're not cursing. They definitely can't say fuck. And so
Mhm.
it was so cringe funny because it was like, why are you even bothering? Why show this movie? Why? It's not,
Yeah.
yeah, it was not good. But yeah, so Liv Morgan, um, yeah,
Number she number 12 to me is fine for her, but I don't know.
hmm, I don't know.
Honestly, I would put her over Willow Nightingale.
I would put Liv
I would
Morgan
switch
well over
places.
Willow Nightingale, yeah, and certainly
Uh,
over anyone from Stardom.
this is true.
But I digress. Anyway, what's
Okay,
next?
number 13 is Io Sky.
Yeah, that's not right.
Uh,
She should be higher than that.
she should be, to be honest, the way they did, like the Kabuki Warriors or whatever they call them now, is kind of like a jobber team now. They're not on that level where they used to be with
No,
her and
and
Kyrie Sane.
I don't know. I'm making a bit of an assumption here, but to me it kind of feels like, and I don't think they did this. I'm just saying the optically it kind of looks like this. It kind of looks like they're like, well, yeah, put all the Japanese girls together and give them
Yeah,
like the most stereotypical team name, and it's just
yeah, and
kind
all
of
that
like
yell, like they'll say like, "Oh, yelling." Japanese and Scream. Like Oscar was doing that for a bit, and I was like, I
Well,
hated that when
and
Oscar was doing it.
yeah, I complained about that. I was like, they're taking it just a smidge too far. Um,
Yeah,
that being said, I like all of them and I like them
I
together.
do.
I wish that they would go
Hmm.
back to being sort of a wrecking crew,
Yes,
you
yeah,
know, but I digress. But yeah, Damage Control became the Kabuki Warriors very quickly.
yeah.
But who's next? Who we got next?
Num- Number 14 is Maya or Mayu Iwawanti,
Oh,
Stardom.
Mayu Iwatani.
Iwatani, yes.
Now she came to AEW, did she not?
I have no idea. Maybe I'll look at her face, but I have no idea from the name.
I could be wrong, but that's a name that I recognize.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I've seen her face before. If it's not AEW, I actually seen her before. Yeah, I like her. She's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I'll take that. I'll take that. I haven't
Hmm.
seen a ton of her work, but from what I understand, she's popular for a reason. So,
Yeah, she's really good. I think she wrestled Gilia
oh, Julia, yeah,
before.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes, that I think that was her last match, was it not? And
it could have been. Yeah. Mhm.
Julia is supposedly headed for WWE, but he's helping the creepy old guy start a new company first. I don't know. I don't remember the
Oh
details,
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. Yeah, yeah. I heard about that.
but yeah, I hear good things about Julia. So is that are we on 15 or 16?
This is number 14. Uh, Number 15 is Masha Samovich,
Oh,
TNA.
Slamovich. Yeah.
Oh, I just
Yeah.
got it.
I will say this. I will say this. I haven't seen a lot of her, but when I heard the name, I chuckled. I'm like, I see what you did there. I
Yeah,
see what you did there.
yeah. I like her already.
Yeah, that's kind of. I was like, you have
Yeah.
ingratiated yourself to me. All right, number 16.
16 is Mina Shakirawa, Stardom.
Okay, next.
Okay, 17 is Becky Lynch.
Yeah, honestly, this year I could see her.
Yeah, like she really didn't do much this year.
I mean, basically, this year was her book tour, which I mean, fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough. I get it. No hate.
Mhm. Number 18 is Miyu Wantabe, and
Is it
this is from
Watanabe?
Watanabe. It's uh, TJPW. Never sure what TJPW is. Honestly, it's the first time I'm even hearing that.
I bet it's Tiger
Oh,
something.
Toki. Oh, Joshi. Oh, I heard it before. It's Joshi Wrestling. Okay.
Tokyo
I'm not a
Joshi
big
Pro
fan of
Wrestling. Yep.
the. Yeah, yeah. I'm not really a big fan of that so much.
I didn't even know it existed, so that'll. Well, okay, but see, here's the thing on their like big roster thing. I think I see Mati Iko, Maki Ito. I got that mixed up.
Okay, okay.
So that gives you an idea of what kind of promotion. And here's the thing: I love Maki Ito for all the wrong
I do
reasons,
too.
though. And there's two girls on the right side that look like they might be 11.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, let's. Oh, it's a sister promotion of DDT. Okay, yeah, shouldn't even be on the list. Next.
All right, number 20 is Lyra Valkyrie,
See,
NXT WWE.
that's a crime. I think Lyra
That
should be
is
higher
number
on that
20.
list. Yeah, nah. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's still good. And if some different people were in the top 20, I might agree with that position. Because like, wait, you're telling me that Tiffany Stratton isn't in the top 20?
Oh yeah, I just realized that. Yeah, she
Really?
should definitely been.
I mean, it's Tiffy time.
She did a phenomenal job even last year. No, not only like compared to 2024, but
Yeah.
when she was
And
in NXT, she was good.
I would argue that her NXT run was better, but she's just getting started. I'm not taking anything away from her.
Uh-huh.
Does it say what number she is?
So I'm trying to check now because like the list I had only went to like 20.
Because I'd be curious. I'd be curious to know where she and Jade are, and then I mean, and then so let's just off the top of my head here. You have
Okay, I got the list. Okay, yeah.
and
Tiffy is she's number 32.
uh really
She's
and then
yeah.
Bianca Belair.
Bianca is oh wow. She must be way down. Oh, no, she's 34.
Ugh.
Not too far down.
And then just for my own
And that's
curiosity,
sad.
where's
They got
Jade at?
Riho. Oh,
Wh-
Jay. Oh, I was gonna say Riho is literally higher than them. She's number 25.
Oh, for fuck's sake, she hasn't even wrestled.
Jay, I don't even see Jay here. Wait, she can't be that far down. They do got Oscar at 74. So,
Oh,
but
fuck
she wasn't
off.
wrestling. She was out for a bit. But Jay. Oh, Jay is 44. She's literally one above Dana Brooke, Ash by Elegance. Only one above that
So
because
what number
Ash
is that?
is 45. Jay's 44.
Okay. So just to put this into perspective here, all elite. Come on, come on.
I can't believe they got Riho above Naomi. Naomi is 30. They got her above that. They got her
That's
above Bianca, uh, Diana Perezzo, which I like, but no, she's 39. I don't know. I can't really take this list seriously. They got Sky Blue at 54. Come on.
oh, this is interesting. They've got everybody. They don't have AEW doesn't have their win-loss records on their roster page anymore. Wonder why?
Oh, okay. This was stupid.
Well, no, they didn't
Well, it was stupid because they never followed through. It was no value.
because they got lazy, but anyway. Although good to
Yeah.
know, Shelton Benjamin is in AEW in some capacity, so that's good.
Yeah, him and MVP, they starting the hurt business again.
Oh, good.
So
Good.
far, it's only them two.
But just Riho hasn't even wrestled a match in the United States in 2024, has she?
If she did, I know it's like maybe one appearance.
Yeah, it's not. I
Uh,
think that's just, how? How do you even if she wrestled in Japan, how do you even quantify it that way?
I don't understand. Maybe she's super popular in Japan, but over here, not so much.
She's 98 pounds.
That's the part I don't get. She looks like a 12-year-old, and she probably 12-year-olds probably weigh more than her. I know some
I
12-year-olds
was
have to
gonna
weigh
say, well,
more.
now to be fair, they're American 12-year-olds, but
Yeah.
a little stockier. Um, but my friend, I know you have to go, and we got to the top 20, so that's good. Thank you all for joining us. Like I said, next episode we're gonna tackle the men's PWI top 500, and then the next episode that'll give us plenty of time. I think we're gonna do our revisiting of the first Double or Nothing and see if it holds up or if it was just a glimpse into the future. Which now
Yeah, sorry for being sick,
I think it
but
was. It's all good.
it should be better very soon.
It's all good. Well, we will see you guys not this coming Thursday, but the following Thursday. And until then, watch wrestling and
Definitely.
buy the PWI women's top 50 and men's top 500 because they're